So, this is not the video I plan to make. I thought today we'd be talking more Earthrise episodes, or, maybe I do some weird history video, but, today's the kind of day you just don't plan for. And it's the kind of day where a lot of your plans are going to change. So, late last night in the AM hours, we started hearing rumblings on Twitter that Jason David Frank, the original Green Ranger, the Power Ranger, had passed away. And no one wanted to believe it because it was so late at night. There's so many trolls on Twitter right now having a field day. And it's one of those internet things where you just don't know if it's really happened or not. And you're just waiting for a police report, a TMZ article. You're waiting for some kind of official confirmation that it happened. And that didn't come until this afternoon. So, yeah. So, if you aren't in the know, if you've lived under a rock and you just don't know what's been going on, Jason David Frank died yesterday. And unfortunately, according to what we know, he took his own life. So let me explain what you're looking at here. So you notice on screen, I don't have any ad thing running. There's no monetization on this video. We're not promoting any of my links. Nothing. The only thing I'm promoting on screen right now are things that are way more important than I am. So that's what I want you to see. But also what I want you to see is this shot of my room, which I feel is a really important shot. You can see it behind my shoulder, but you really can't see it in this streamer format thing I've got going on these days. But what you're looking at is basically as much as I can fit into one shot, and it just so happened that it all fits in one shot. I've had this set up for weeks now. But you can see in the bottom left, you can see my original Dragon Zord. That's complete. It's been with me since childhood. You can see in the top right, you can see my Legacy series Saba and Green Ranger Dragon Dagger. In the middle, you can see my boxed original vintage Dragon Dagger and Saba, which my girlfriend found for me, and man, I am grateful now. And if you are eagle-eyed, you will be noticing in the top of the image, in the shadows, you can see my Sword of Darkness. That is a foam replica Sword of Darkness that I got. I can't even remember. I got it at a con. I think that might have been a MetroCon purchase. It's been a while. I assume that's the only place I know where I would have found it. But yeah, as you can, it's easy, and that's the things you can see. What you cannot see is the the Green and White Ranger figure arts that are behind me. What you cannot see is my Legacy Dragon Morpher. What you cannot see is my Hasbro Dragon Dagger that's on the way now, and that's going to be a very hard box to open. So, if you can piece it together, yes, I was a Green Ranger fan as a kid, and I was one of those kids who thought that Tommy in Power Rangers was the coolest character. He got beat up by putties every week, but he was still awesome, I don't know what it was. This man had such a natural charisma to him. And there was something about the way, his martial arts in the show seemed so much cooler than everybody else. And yes, it's probably all the weird noises. It's probably all of the Hollywood kung fu noises he was making. But man, if you were a kid in the mid-90s, there wasn't anything cooler than the Green Ranger and then the White Ranger. Just really, really just... Yeah, that was just that's an entire childhood. That's a that's a childhood for a lot of millions of people out there. So yeah, this is hard. It's hard knowing that the Power Ranger, took his own life. Like that. That is not a reality I'm comfortable with. That is not a reality I like. And it sucks. It sucks. I hate that something like this is so preventable, but it's so common that most of us can tell a story about how suicide affected our lives. And I like for me personally, I've lost some friends to suicide. I have, I remember I had a fan that was in contact with me all the time. He'd be sharing artwork with me, and I'd try to communicate every chance I could. But all that stopped, and I found out he took his own life, and I never got that impression. I never knew why. And every time I think back to it and something like this happens, I think to myself, why didn't he say something? Why didn't he reach out? Because I mean, I have had fans who have, I've had fan mail. I've had people tell me that what I do has gotten them through hard times, that has gotten them through dark periods in their life, and literally credited me for still being alive, which means the world to me. But then I just wonder, here's someone who I was in direct contact with, and I wish they had told me so I could have done something, so I could have helped. And I hate that is common. I hate that these days so many of us can tell a story like that. And it's disgusting. It is. I hate it. Yeah, it's very rare when a celebrity suicide affects me like this. Robin Williams really hit me really hard because I had so much respect for his work, and just, he's one of those people in a movie and a stand-up routine always made me laugh. He was one of the ones where, if I found out he was on a live TV show, if I found out he was doing a live talk show thing, you tuned in because it was going to be chaos. So that one hit me really hard, and I always try to watch him whenever I could. So that one hit me really hard. And now this is the hero of my childhood, where some people grew up with Superman in the golden age, that, this was mine, where some people had Flash Gordon, I had the Green Ranger, where, in these days, and then later generations, I think every generation has some kind of iconic hero. I know a lot of them are probably in Marvel movies these days rather than TV shows, but and let's be honest with ourselves here. I know not everyone has a glowing opinion of Jason David Frank. I know he had a reputation for letting his ego get the better of him. I know some people had poor interactions with him, in the right circumstance at conventions. I don't care about any of that right now. Here's what I care about. Because of who he was and because of the way he portrayed the Green Ranger, that franchise got to continue on. That is a franchise that I do not think would be around if they had not cast Jason David Frank. I don't think that show would be around to do what it does now, to inspire teamwork, to inspire, that sense of hope and not giving up, that sense of, fighting against your adversaries, etc. Whether they're physical or fictional, you get what I mean, and the things that the show does for representation and inclusion, especially in this current series. I don't think it gets to do any of those things if Jason David Frank hadn't been such a massive influence on the franchise. And you got to think about how many millions of people, how many millions of kids were affected by that show. How many grew up to be martial artists or pro MMA fighters because Jason David Frank inspired them? How many grew up to just do something more heroic in their lives? How many of them are paramedics, how many of them are firefighters because they had a hero who inspired them from their youth? How many are just better people? Because that was that era of Power Rangers that was all about inspiring kids to be better people. And how many people these days are better people because someone like Jason David Frank motivated them to be that way? I don't know. Like, and we're never going to know. But it's a lot. It is seriously a lot. That is what I mourn for. Is like, okay, fine. If you don't like the guy, that's your opinion. But don't discredit what the man did. And don't discredit how much good he did because of the position he was in. And just how good he was at what he did when he was in that position. And don't give me anything about overexposed. I saw someone complaining about, well, he's overexposed. Like, who cares? That's so petty right now. He's overexposed because he never put in half an effort. Anytime he had the chance to be a Ranger and inspire a new generation, he did it. Anytime he could come back and be that hero again for more kids, he did it. And again, that's where I credit the man. That is where I mourn, because that is a spirit to have. God. Even me, like, I don't know if I would be who I am today if not for, like, having someone like that to look up to and to be inspired by. As a kid, embarrassingly enough, when we played Power Rangers in the playground, I always pretended like I was, like, I always pretended I was Tommy's younger brother. That's what you wanted to be. You wanted that to be your bro. You wanted that to be your hero, So, yeah, it's a lot, and it's terrible, and I hate it. I mean, and the thing is like, suicide is preventable, and that's the terrible thing about it. I know he's going through a lot. He was going through a messy divorce. I know suicide affected him very personally in the past. So, and I don't pretend to know what he was going through. That's the thing, is that when I have had a friend commit suicide, and when that happened, I didn't judge them for doing it. I didn't look down on them for doing it, because I have no idea what they were going through. I've had times of depression. I've had periods where I felt like things were hopeless, but those times are temporary, and you can fight your way out of them as long as you do not give it up. But I do know that for some people, it hurts so much to try to continue, or you don't see the point in continuing, or you don't see the value in yourself enough to try to continue. And I think that is the worst for me, because I don't think there's anybody who has no value. I think everybody is worth saving. I think everyone is worth helping. Period. And if you feel that way, if you have thoughts like that, if you are in that kind of place, there are places to help. I've got them on the screen. If you need something on the spot, if you have that urge, you have that thought, and you just need someone to talk you out through it, that's what those numbers are for. There's plenty of other online resources. I wish I was knowledgeable enough in them to recommend some, but they're out there. You can find them if you need them. And please, if you go through anything like this, you are not beyond help. You are not, you are not hopeless, and you are worth helping. You deserve help, even if you think you don't. Even if you think it's too late, it is not too late. I trust you. Trust me. I promise you, it is not. It is never too late. So, use the resources if you have. If you have those problems, reach out. Find someone. There will be people who can help and are absolutely willing to help you through a dark period. If that is what you're going through, if that is what you need. But you have to reach for it. When we say, like, don't give up, that doesn't mean like keep bearing with it and eventually it'll be better. That is, the part of not giving up is you got to reach out and take the help where you can. You have to know that you are worth saving and that there are people who will save you, and you have to believe that, and you have to reach out for that. Hope doesn't always hand itself to you. You have to take it. You have to make your own, and you have to believe you are worth making your own hope, because you are. You absolutely are. So that's yeah, I never want to hear that someone from my audience or some of my friends took this route again. I never want to hear that anyone took this route. But if if you need it, like, reach out. Call a number on the list. It's not too late. No matter how dark it is, I promise you, it's going to get brighter. You just have to keep forward. If a Power Ranger taught you anything, it should be that no matter how big the adversity and no matter how dark the times seem, you can fight your way out of it, and you can get better. You can get to a better day and a brighter future. You can. You just have to believe that you can do it. And if someone can help you get to that point, take the help, please. So, yeah, that's what I have. That's what I have. I don't know if this helps anybody. I don't know if this helps anybody. I don't know if this is. I don't even know if this is worth making, but I had to make it. Like, on a day like today, if I have any voice whatsoever, if you have any kind of faith in me whatsoever, please, like, this is what I can do. So, like I said, I don't want to hear anyone having to go through this again. So, as usual, thanks for watching, and I hope you're well. I hope everyone is doing okay. And take the time to be with the people you love, your friends, your family, because this is the kind of thing where you just never know. You never know, so it's a hard day. It's a hard day. But I love you guys. Genuinely. If you're watching this video, I love you. Period. And I hope I will see all of you next time. I hope I will see all of you for a very long time, because I want to see all of you more. All right? So stick around for me, okay? Stick around for each other. That's better. All right. I will see you next time for hopefully a better topic. Until then.